Hello, Dr. James Bogash, expert in health and longevity, and today this is a pretty important video if you have any interest in living longer with a higher quality of life. So, it has everything to do with muscle power versus strength and which one is actually better for you, at least according to this particular study. Before we go on, make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel. So that being said, let's differentiate muscle power versus muscle strength. And muscle power is more, think about the ability to develop force quickly. So, imagine catching yourself when you're falling, being able to do jump ropes. I'll give some examples a little bit later. Actually, let me give some now. So, developing power is more like high velocity training. So think things like plyometric, even jump rope, kettlebell is along this, it can develop muscle power. The martial arts, which happens to be my particular favorite, all of those things develop muscle power. We also, in our office, we have a device called a whole body EMS, and whole body EMS has been shown to develop muscle power because of the different muscle fibers that it helps stimulate. In a safe way, it's a wonderful technology for people who are really frail and need some help exercising. So that's the whole body EMS. But, so think about that. Muscle strength, and in this particular study, they measured it as hand grip strength. So measuring how strong the hand grip is. And we know, we've seen studies where hand grip strength has to do with longevity. So we know that that's a factor that people with stronger hand grip are more likely to live longer. Muscle strength, however, is more of how much power you can develop in a certain range of motion. So the maximum force by a muscle or a muscle group. So think about your 1 rep max, or how much you can bench press, or how much you can squat. Those are things that help develop muscle strength. In this particular study, they used a row movement to see how much weight somebody could do. Again, it's a slow motion. It is not the more rapid high velocity that we see with muscle power. So which one of these are better? They're both good, but one of them really shined over the other. So this was a study looking at 3,889, so just under 4,000 people. Average age from 46 to 75. 68% of them were male, so definitely much more representative of men. And they followed them for the average of 10.8 years to see who died, who didn't. In the 14% of the men died and 9% of the women died. So it gave us a good idea of people that died in both categories. And so which one was more productive in helping people live longer or lowering their risk of dying? So in the muscle strength group, the people who had you're comparing the lowest muscle strength. So let's say you have a 10-pound bench press versus a 50-pound or 100-pound bench press. So muscle strength in men led to 162%. So the people who had the lower muscle strength versus the higher muscle strength, the lower muscle strength, 162% higher risk of dying for men, 690% higher risk for women. So 171% higher risk of dying from women. Those are pretty substantial, and it goes to show that building muscle strength, getting in the gym, doing weight lifts is important, and it will help you live longer. Muscle power, so think ability to develop force rapidly. Maybe you trip and you catch yourself, or you don't even fall in the first place. Your ability to function in a daily life has a lot to do with muscle power. In men, the lowest muscle power versus the highest muscle power, so they did this by hand grip strength. 588% higher risk of dying if you had low muscle power. in men, 690% in women if you had lower muscle strength or muscle power. Holy cow, like both were important, but that's substantial in the difference in protection. It doesn't mean that we should work one or the other. Likely focusing on a workout routine that focuses on both is going to be your best, because muscle mass is going to be developed by strength. So the martial arts, Bruce Lee wasn't very big, but we could certainly argue that he had a lot of muscle power. And so somebody who's in the martial arts may have the benefit of the muscle power, but not the strength. So hitting the gym in addition to the dojo can be important. And so we need balance in our working out, but muscle power, those type of activities need to be a part of that. It can't just be walking around the block. It has to be something more dynamic that's going to allow you to generate that power in a very short period of time. So, as always, I'll post a link to this particular study in the description. Make sure you like this video, share it with somebody you think needs the information, and subscribe to the channel.